Right. Been reacting to some Halloween gameplay, some map reveals. I have seen a lot of the gameplay from PAX. I am following this game. I followed it just as much as when F13 was rolling around back in 2017, 2018, and yeah, I'm probably looking to this just as much as I am for GTA 6, to be honest. So let's just check it out.
There's so much evil inside him.
Okay, back inside, everyone.
Let's go, Myers.
It's
Fueled
cool
by
they're
his
even doing a
rage,
single player, to
I
be honest.
shudder to think what he might be capable of.
Since when do they let them wander around?
Myers is out. Secure the gate.
I knew what would come next. Every soul unfortunate enough to cross Michael's path would suffer. No one knew of the evil that was walking among them. Unreasoning, relentless, evil. But sometimes I think the truth was something much more terrible. I wonder if perhaps Michael is able to actually move through shadows.
Referencing shape jump, his morphing ability. You know? Orange Grove Estates.
Imagine being able to build
Okay, we got an ad coming up.
just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
There'd probably be some cool environmental kills on the merry-go-round. Can you imagine? Or even a seesaw. I mean, what could you do with that? I'm sure Michael will find a way. He's creative when it comes to kills. Let's be honest. But the interior designs, the level design looks great. Much more detailed than the sort of, bare-bone back-to-back cabin hopping that we're used to in F13, with really only, like, you know, the main locations being the unique parts, like Packanack and the Crystal Lake Lodge, etc. But enough about F13. I like it. Just nice alleyways. Him slow walking through this area and just stalking, man. It's gonna be really immersive playing as him and going against him. If it's a good Michael. Probably gonna be environmental kill with the drum set. I'm already thinking about what he can do. The TV as well. Probably like smash your head in the TV. I wonder if this music is, I guess it's part of the game as well. Some of John Carpenter's stuff. Not what we're used to. It's a little different. Of course, gotta have the nice pumpkins. I love carving out pumpkins myself during Halloween. These maps look
Awesome,
pretty
man.
dang good. What's up, man?
Your soup is,
Huh?
your soup is going back to get it. I'll take it to you
Haddonfield
guys.
Town Center. This map is a lot darker. Well, they're all dark, of course, but this one just seems a bit more, thick with the dark, foggy, a little bit of fog. A bar, Halloween store, little party city in Haddonfield. I know it's not Party City, but they could probably release the jack underneath the car and kill somebody with that, man. I really hope they add stuff like that. I know there are environmental kills, but Just imagine the brutality of something like that. Life is Strange record store. Ugh, that's giving me bad flashbacks. June is over. I can say what I want now.
Multiplayer in Halloween is a 1v4 asymmetrical
Now
horror
this I've already
experience
seen,
that
but
pits the residents
it'd
of
be nice to look at the
Haddonfield
gameplay again.
against the shape of pure evil, Michael Myers. In this quintessential slasher simulator, our playable cast of civilian characters desperately attempt to save their neighbors and themselves from the omnipresent
Let me
boogeyman.
pause that real quick. I know people. All right. I know people are like the running animations look ridiculous, but to me, the running animations in most games look ridiculous. And if we probably saw, a good look at ourselves in third person about how we run, it probably wouldn't look too pretty either. But I know they kind of got that high sort of weird hunched over run, swinging their arms back and forth like that. But it's something that we really don't really pay attention to once we actually start playing. But it would, I guess, they could polish it up. But I'd rather them focus on other things.
Michael fixates on stalking and slaying his targets. Halloween provides
There's an
familiar
environmental
elements
kill.
fans of the genre know and love,
Yeah.
but we're incredibly excited to pull back the curtain and unveil more details that demonstrate our commitment to delivering our most robust, dynamic, and terrifying multiplayer
Shape jump.
offering yet.
I always like how you can expect yourself, kind of like with Jason in F-13, how you can make him sort of look back at you in the camera. It really feels like you're playing as the character. I like they kept that with Michael as well.
Michael Myers is a creeping, methodical killer, and on Halloween night, Haddonfield becomes his hunting ground. The boogeyman's primary desire is to eliminate every living resident in this quiet town, but he also begins each match with a list of
I'm I'm telling y'all, when I start playing this game, when I play Michael, I'm not just going to be shape jumping about, shifting around like Jason would, just trying to get a grab in the middle of the street. I'm going to be, playing like how Michael moves around in the movies. Just like here 1 second, gone the next, intercepting people at different locations, hiding, using all those mechanics. I love that they put those kind of details in there because it makes it way more scary, makes it more of a horror game than anything rather than just sort of appearing and disappearing off screen in a chase. It's like, nah, Michael doesn't move that way. Um, but yeah, it's going to be pretty cool to play as him that immersively.
special targets that supply greater rewards if killed before time expires. These unfortunate residents are positioned across various sites in the map, and Michael players are empowered to use their nightmare suite of abilities to locate, terrorize, and ultimately execute their victims and anyone bold enough to interfere with their bloodthirsty ambitions.
Yeah, obviously, like moments there are going to be gang attempts to like beat him up, but I mean, I think they've already added measures to for him to get out of that. Um, he shouldn't be really getting caught in those situations. But a friend of mine did pose like an interesting, counterpoint to like what happens if all the victims, if all the survivors just gather in the street and just stay there and just like decide to. I mean, eventually they'll run out of resources, I guess, and ways to fight back. But it'll be kind of annoying to have to deal with people who aren't like playing conventionally or playing a bit unorthodox, I guess. But yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out in terms of real
Killer
gameplay.
Sense allows players to step behind the mask and stalk the residents of Haddonfield. When using this skill and entering the first-person perspective, Michael becomes aggressively aware of his surroundings and the proximity of potential prey.
I
By
love that.
focusing
The
on
first
targets
person
with
through the
murderous
mask, man.
intent, Michael builds
Hearing his
varying
breathing.
levels of stalk, which aid him in identifying and tracking
He has some nice
targets
headphones on, it'll be
and
even
open
better.
increasingly satisfying options for executions.
I love environmental kills.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it.
Interrupted
Just
by
by thinking about it. Meet
AI
Base
ads.
44.
An effective killer always keeps their victims unaware of their presence until those final fatal moments. While
Exactly.
historically Michael Myers isn't known for his speed, fundamental abilities like shape jump amplify the shape's mobility with hauntingly unpredictable results.
I like that.
In shape jump, Michael slips into the shadows to move around environments unseen. Not only does
See,
this
but that
increase
right
Michael's
there-
base movement,
To me, how he can just kind of like come through the house and appear like right behind you. I know they said it's light and line of sight is like the only is the caveats to that ability where you can't just like appear right in front of somebody. But the margin for error, like we're talking like a meter or two, of like your back turn, and then bam, he can just appear right there. I feel like I don't know the resident. If you're playing as the resident, you're gonna have to be keeping your flashlight on like all the time and like checking corners like a I don't know a Navy SEAL, like shining every possible corner to make sure he can't just appear, you know,
speed,
unawares
but
and
it
just
also
catch you off
provides
guard.
access to other powerful
I
traversal
saw a lot of
options,
that happening in
including
the
shape
PAX
jump,
gameplay. Just
which
people
sends
kind of
Michael lunging
just
forward
Michael just
with
coming in the
violent
house and
momentum.
appearing right then and there.
Shape jump is
I feel like
confidently
they'll
one of the
address
most
that.
powerful tools at Michael's disposal and supplies unlimited possibilities for iconic jump scare moments.
Stay cool.
But that's okay. Like being able to, appear in an adjacent room where the door is closed or like teleport into a closet, that's totally different. To me, that's immersive. That's not as immersion breaking as like him just being like, oh, he's right behind you, kind of like Morph in F-13, but you know what I mean.
However, that potency comes with a few
Like
major
that right there
caveats.
around the corner, no
Our
line of
masked
sight, that's
antagonist
perfect.
can only enter and exit shape jump while in the cover of darkness or outside a resident's line of sight.
So keeping the
The light
power
may
on and
provide
just
temporary
using your
reprieve
light,
for the residents of Haddonfield,
You know,
but Michael can work to
be really
remove
important.
sources of illumination by shutting off lights, cutting power, and even catalyzing temporary blackouts.
I love that.
Despite the unquestionable malevolence of Michael Myers, his horrifying homecoming to Haddonfield won't be welcomed without resistance. As the body count climbs and
The fact
evidence
you
of
can
the
carry
boogeyman's
bodies
presence
too, man.
becomes
The BMing is
undeniable,
going to be crazy.
local authorities, residents, and distinct playable
I already know. I
civilians
already have
may
some ideas
decide
in
to
my head
gather
about what I'm going to
weapons
do to
and
some
face off against evil
unruly
himself.
residents.
Thankfully, Michael knows his way around sharp objects and will have multiple options for melee combat encounters. And if especially
Using different
persistent
weapons as well.
Haddonfieldites do
Love
manage
that.
to get the upper hand in an exchange, don't worry.
How the hell?
It's not possible.
We've said it once, and we'll say it again. You can't kill the boogeyman.
I know you can't kill him, but you can apprehend him in this game,
While Michael
which was
swiftly
pretty
endeavors
cool.
to turn Haddonfield into a graveyard, our heroic group of civilian characters desperately attempts to save their neighbors and escape the boogeyman's bloodthirst. As a civilian, it's up to you to find fellow Haddonfield residents, convince them of his malicious intent, and guide them safely to one of several possible randomized escapes located around the map.
If you're like me and worried that this is Ilphonic, I just don't know how the AI is going to be for these for the NPCs when you're trying to tell them to escape, because I know that's like the main objective. I know they've already said the goal is not for you as a resident to find your own personal escape as fast as possible and leave, because that actually will count as a loss towards the collective, because your goal is to save the residents of the town, right? So you just kind of leaving would be counterintuitive and kind of be unfun for both sides. So if they're really prioritizing you trying to save NPC residents, they have to get the AI right. Otherwise, it's just going to be really annoying. You know what I mean? It's like you tell them to go hide in a corner or go towards the exit, but because it's Ilphonic and gun, whatever, it ain't working as quite as well as it should be. I hope that's not the case. We'll see.
Before they meet an untimely end. This distinctive cast of playable civilian characters each comes equipped with unique stats, special traits, and signature personalities. To ensure no two matches of Halloween play out the same, our
RNG.
team has constructed a vast playground of possibilities in Haddonfield, offering
Like that.
civilians a multitude of diverse gameplay systems to aid them in achieving their objectives and surviving the night.
Calling cards.
As civilians navigate these environments, they'll uncover points of interest, revealing resident NPCs, lootable containers, hiding places,
You. Just you.
The looting is very Killer Clowns-esque.
On base 44.
telephones, possible escape routes, and more. Thoroughly and cautiously exploring your surroundings could very well mean the difference between life and death. And when death
They nailed
comes
his
to your
movements,
little
his
town,
look, everything.
It's probably not a bad idea to head to your neighbors and contact the local authorities. Civilians are tasked with tracking down surviving residents and warning them of the looming threat. Successful conversations with residents can permit civilians to request additional calls to police, commands to find secure hiding places, or companionship as they navigate the formerly peaceful streets of Haddonfield.
Should we stick together? Maybe we're better as a team.
Whether it's a local family friend or the authorities, there's safety in numbers. Once the innocent residents of Haddonfield have been located and persuaded, it's time for the civilians to plan their harrowing
I
escape.
know you can actually ride the
Movable
bike as well. I
containers
saw that
scattered
in some
throughout
of
the
the
map contain weapons,
gameplay at
distractions,
PAX.
and key items that can be used to unlock and access
What
a
purpose,
variety
I don't
of
know.
possible escape routes. The location
is
of these
cool, though.
items and escapes changes from match to match, so civilians greatly benefit from adjusting their strategies based on the objects uncovered. It's also worth noting that initiating these escape sequences generates a tremendous amount of noise,
Same
which
kind of
will alert
blips from
Michael
F-13.
to your exact location. So what happens in the likely event that a civilian becomes another display of Michael's wretched, inhumane nature? Well, their Haddonfield story isn't over just yet. Even in death, they can support their friends and even return as a sheriff's deputy or the unrelenting Dr. Loomis. Once they've re-emerged upon the streets of Haddonfield,
He's
they
running
will
with that
cooperate
revolver,
with the
ain't he?
remaining civilians and responding officers
Kinda dangerous.
to try and put a stop to Michael's
Run with a gun
murderous
like that.
rampage.
Freeze where you are, Michael. You're coming with me.
While he can't be killed, with enough community resistance, the proper equipment, and sheer manpower, he can be detained and shipped back to Smith's Grove.
I don't think
Sanitarium.
I've seen anyone do that in the PAX gameplay or managed to do that.
Halloween is a legendary film with a genre-defining legacy,
People will learn.
and our mission has been to bring the film's unsettling sense of dread to our asymmetrical horror sandbox. By empowering players to control the tension and stage the scares, we're building a multiplayer experience designed with replayability
The
at the
voice lines.
forefront. We'll have more details to share regarding character progression, character traits, customization, proximity chat, and more thrilling gameplay features in the coming months. But we can't wait for all of you to join us when Halloween launches on September 8th, 2026.
Closer than we realized, man. It's already July.
Teams get the incredible opportunity of exploring and creating a game around iconic horror legends like Michael Myers. In Halloween, players get to relive that fateful night in 1978 and step back into the town of Haddonfield, Illinois. I'm Miles Dompierre from
Can't wait.
Ilphonic, and today I'm thrilled to present an extended look at gameplay for Halloween. With the help of Unreal Engine 5, we've been able to
Extended look.
reconstruct the quiet town of Haddonfield in stunning detail. Remaining authentic to the 70s era aesthetics was essential
This I
to
haven't
how
seen.
we crafted our play spaces. When players navigate these environments, they'll be surrounded by decor that delightfully preserves a special moment in time. Throughout these locations, randomized townsfolk NPCs are living their lives, completely unaware of the danger
Oh, dude, that's
lurking
awesome.
right outside their windows. These NPCs serve as the game's primary objectives. Stepping behind the mask of this infamous killer, Michael's goal is to find, stalk, and kill the residents of Haddonfield before Halloween night ends. Once you've honed in and stalked a target, it's time to choose the perfect moment to strike. Michael comes equipped with an array of unpredictable
scream.
endowments, but the most powerful is Shape Jump. When in Shape Jump, Michael is invisible to the naked eye. This is our interpretation of Michael's inexplicable tendency to suddenly appear in completely unexpected places and catch victims off guard. Players can also choose from a broad range of compelling civilian hero characters that have witnessed the wrath of Michael and need to warn their neighbors before it's too late. Finding an active phone will allow you to call the police and attempt to convince them to send in help. Just remember, you may be able to knock him down, but you can't kill the boogeyman. We hope you've enjoyed this extended look at gameplay for Halloween. We've only
It's a very
scratched
pretty
the
looking
surface
game as
of
well.
what's shaping up to be a truly special and murderous sandbox horror experience. And we can't wait for you all to join us in Haddonfield when Halloween launches on September 8th, 2026.
Awesome. I already got it pre-ordered, dog. I don't need the wish list, nothing.